What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay coming back at you from Yankee and the Brit, reminding you to go on Facebook and go over and join Savage Football Memes. That's right. If you like football, then the place you need to be, Savage Football Memes. If you like, I don't give a shit if it's the NFL, the XFL, the USFL, Indoor Spring League, Savage Football Memes is where you need to be. So go check them out. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. This is Yankee and the Brit Sports Talk, and we're going to give you this week's power rankings. And so you know where we're at. We're heading into week 14. Maddie, there was some movement. There was some staying the same. And I don't look at my previous one, even though I got a good idea. I don't look at the previous one before I go in because I don't want to have it influence me.
Yeah.
So this was kind of a tough one for me. And where it got tough was at the bottom. The bottom was kind of tough for me because at number 10, there was a few teams that I had swirling around, but I just went with a team that's playing pretty well, that I think the style of play that they have is perfect for this time of year. And it's the Indianapolis Colts with my league MVP, Jonathan Taylor, number 10.
I really like that pick.
Wait,
I really like it.
Just so everybody knows, poor Maddie is up very late by him.
Is that me?
So
is that me yawning? Is that what you've just called?
Catch the yawn. I'm just letting. No, it's fine. We do it. I'm just letting people know you're a warrior, and it's already late at night over in England, even though it's nice and during the day for me.
That's not me commenting anything on Jay's pick, by the way. As boring as the Colts can sometimes be to watch, that isn't me commenting on his pick at all. I like the pick. I like the pick. They're probably around between 11 and 15. I don't trust the quarterback enough to put them in, personally, is where I'm at with it. But it doesn't really go well with my next statement. My number 10 pick is the Cincinnati Bengals. Talking about teams that I don't really trust, but when they're on, they are on and can beat anybody. They just need to find a way to be more consistent.
They were actually one of the teams that I was thinking about putting in at 10. I just feel like the Colts are finally starting to look more like a playoff team. They're starting to look more like the team I thought they would be at the beginning of the year. They really had me doubting that shit. So as Carson Wentz doesn't do Carson Wentz shit, they should be fine.
Yeah, and the loss that the Bengals sustained against the Chargers, whereas the Colts just came off a game where I know it's against the Texans, but the Texans never went past the Colts 40-yard line. Think about that. In an entire game, they never went past the Colts 40-yard line. That's incredible.
And the Bengals are one of those teams that creep up and fall out and creep up and fall out of my
top 10.
Yeah.
They're the yo-yo team of the power rankings.
There you go. Well, at number 9, I'm going with a team who came down a little bit, even though they're not coming off a loss. Tennessee Titans. I'm just not sold without King Henry, but I still really like them. So they've been coming down my board, but they're still in my top 10. I'm just at a point where I'm like, you had so many turnovers in a couple games, and without King Henry, you got to prove it to me, but I still have faith. That's why they're still in my top 10.
They've fallen out of my top 10, the Titans.
Okay.
Because we have a new into the top 10 and number 9 for me. The Los Angeles Chargers are my number 9 team, a new entry into the top 10. I was having a conversation with somebody on Facebook the other day regarding our last power ranking, saying, where's my Los Angeles Chargers? And I said to him, a big win at the weekend. They forced their way into this top 10. They had a big win at the weekend. They forced their way into this top 10.
All right. Well, setting the tone for number 8 here. This team, I think, has the talent to be a top 5 team. And if you watched our previous podcast, I just need them to prove it. It's your Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Was expecting that. Was definitely expecting that. They have the talent.
Even though you tried to bully me into the top 5 the other day, anybody who watches the podcast, Maddie drops these subliminal mind drops where he's like, and then when we get to our power rankings, there's no way the Cowboys can't be in the top 5.
I said top 6.
I just want you to know I caught that.
But no, the Dallas Cowboys have the talent to be in those top 5 positions, and I mean they didn't lose a game, so I don't know how they came down. But anyway, doesn't matter. I've got a team that did lose a game at number 8, and the way that they play is the reason that they're going to lose games, or the thing that they're missing, and it's the Buffalo Bills. If you can't run, you're going to struggle to win games. Go watch our other podcast for why that doesn't really make sense with who I've picked to win games this week.
Well, for the record, the Cowboys went up 1 on my
Did they?
top 10. Yes.
You had them at 9. Ouch.
I did because
After
I
that,
just said
yeah.
it was just rough games, man. It wasn't that they didn't win. It was rough games. Like, I'm not seeing what I feel like I need to see at this point. But like we talked about, they can still get it together. I'm waiting for them to click. But you having the Bills at number 8 is a little shock to me because they're not even in my top 10.
Wow, they came down from 5 on mine. They came down from 5, and I mean, the Bills can beat anybody. And go watch our last video where we talk about the reason that the Bills might win this weekend. I just think with the talent that they've got in that offense, it's just a shame that they're missing that one piece. It's a shame that they're missing that running game because they could have been something special this year. And with the way that they play and where they play, more importantly, they should have a running game. Like, it's the most important thing.
Well, just what
this weekend.
As we know, Sean McDermott watches this show every week religiously. No, okay. But if you're watching, my man, reach out to the Vikings after the season. We got a pretty good backup quarterback. We'll give to you for a second round pick, or running back. We'll give to you for a second round pick.
I think that would be a good trade. I'm not entirely sure whether it's the running game or not, but I mean, Najee Harris has proved that the running back does make a difference.
I'm just saying the Vikings got it pretty deep. So if somebody wants him, come take, because we only got 1 more year with him under contract, and we ain't going to re-sign him with our depth. So come get him. I think that's a great move. And I love the man. I just want him to get a starting opportunity because I think he can do it in this league.
You could probably get him for a third because he's only
I was trying to be greedy. I was just trying to be greedy because it's my team.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree with you. Like, you could also probably bargain for a second, like,
right. Well, on the 7, on the team who fell the farthest down my top 10, it's the Ravens.
The Ravens have fallen out of my top 10.
Okay, they were up at like 4 or 5 in mine, so they came down a lot.
I've got them at 11 is where I've got them. The way I do mine, I write out like a 15, 16 teams and then organize them into a thing. But the Ravens are my 11 is where I've got them at the minute. And they just didn't click for me. So the fall makes a lot of sense.
It's so weird. The NFL is in a place now where besides the top teams in each division, everything else is just a rat race right now.
Just fluctuates from like game to game. Yeah. And everybody's beating everybody. So these power rankings are going to change all the time. I've got who was considered the Ravens' Achilles heel until earlier this season. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs at number 7. Which is big for me because they weren't in my top 10 last week, but they just proved me wrong. Like, when you have a defense that good and the ability to go off like they can, then you're going to force your way into a top 10. They're 8-4, which is incredible. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it looks like he can run finally. Like last week, like on Sunday, he looked like he'd remembered how to run.
Oh, the guy who's been injured my whole fantasy league. Yeah, thanks a lot for that, my guy. He does look all right. They look like they actually have 2 guys who can help them in the run game, which is very shocking with Williams and him. When we were at the beginning of the year, they were in the Bills position, like, where is your running game?
Yeah.
So they're coming on. 6 through 4 was weird for me. So what I did is, in my head, I said, who do I think would win if they played each other? 6 through 4, because they're so close. So at number 6, I got a team that I think has every talent in the world, but has to prove it again. The Rams. They fell down my board a lot.
And number 6, I also have the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, the Rams, they've got every talent. They've got talent in every single position, really, don't they? They have they've got top 5 corner, top 5 D lineman, top 5 wide receiver, top 10 quarterback? Question mark. Yeah,
Could be. I mean, he
around.
should be, but we're not seeing it right now.
We're waiting for him to prove it. And then a top 10, top 5 offensive coordinator as well. They should just blow teams out a lot of the time. And it's disappointing when they don't, because they should really do that. I really like the Rams. They really wailed on the Jags, which I think will be good for them. And I think it will have blown the cobwebs off.
All right. Well, on to number 5, which is only 2 up from where you have them. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're firing. I think they're coming. And I think right now they're the second best team in the AFC.
I just need to see their offense click before I can move them up anymore. Like, I don't know whether I'm just like, it's the same thing as what we said in the last video, where I don't know whether we're judging them on just an unparalleled level because they've been doing stuff that we haven't seen before for the past 3 years, and they're not doing that this year. So how are we judging them? Their offensive line, by the way, is clicked. Their offensive line is cooking. Like, that is a bad offensive line. They're madmen. Patrick Mahomes just needs to find the easy completions, and they'll rise through the ranks of my power rankings as well. I've got at number 5 the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, they didn't play particularly well against the Saints, but they got the win. They got the win when they weren't playing well. They have Randy Gregory coming back, Neville Gallimore coming back. Amari Cooper will be more healthy. Like that, they've got the best rookie in the NFL. Could also be up for Defensive Player of the Season if he really keeps kicking on. They've got Trayvon Diggs in the backfield as well. They've got playmakers everywhere, and they could win any game that they go into.
Okay, I ain't taking a shot at your pick. I'm going to defend the Chiefs real quick to you. I don't think you give them enough credit. They're 8-4 and in the top of one of the tougher divisions in football.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That's why I was saying. I was saying, am I judging them on too harsh a curve because of how great they have been? Like, I think that could be it. And it's the same thing when you watch the Dallas Cowboys beat the Saints by 10 points, but their offense isn't playing as well as we know.
Yeah, it was pretty hard on them.
Yeah, we know how they could do, you know, like you're looking at the talent that they've got compared to what they're producing rather than just what they're producing, and what both of those teams are producing some seriously valid wins. They're both 8-4.
Well, moving on to the top 4, Maddie, these teams, I'm convinced are the top 4 teams. You can just argue which order people want to put them in. That's fine. Number 4, I got the shock of the year to me, the New England Patriots. I can't believe what they're doing. I know they spent the money. I know all of that. I know Bill Belichick's history as a coach, Josh McDaniels. I'm not a fan of Mr. Pencil in the Ear, but whatever. It's just the fact that I'm just shocked on how fast they turned this shit around.
Yeah, definitely. And they just went back to playing a brand of football that they know. 2 amazing tight ends, 2 running backs that can just go forever, a quarterback that won't lose you the game and is smart and knows exactly what to do in every single situation, and then some decent wide receivers as well. They've just gone back to a formula that they know. And then obviously we all know that New England will always have a cracking defense every time that Bill Belichick takes the field as a coach in New England. For me, I have New England's hero for many years, Tom Brady and his Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at number 4.
I'm okay with that. Like I said, I think there's 4 teams that are the top. Anybody wants to argue the order? Because for me, I got the Bucs at 3, so we're not that far off on that one.
Yeah, definitely. And I think those two are interchangeable. Definitely interchangeable. I just think the Pats are playing to their highest level. Like they're playing to where they can get to. That is where they are at, and they're playing. And when you're in that zone of playing your best, you'll win games even against teams that are like the Buccaneers are undoubtedly more talented than the Pats are. Like undoubtedly, there's very few positions that you can say any different. But the Bucs are kind of playing down from where they should be, and like, you know, so if you're playing flat out the best you can to somebody who's playing down from where you can, chances are you might win that game, and more times than not win that game. Yeah, but two interchangeable teams. I think it kind of goes 10 through 8, 7 through 5, 4 and 3, and 2 and 1 are all like, that's the tiers of the top 10 at the moment in the NFL, because there's two clear top two teams.
And so you have the Patriots at number 3?
Patriots at number 3, yeah.
All right. Yes, I think there is two top teams. And I hate to do this, but I have a team that dropped one during a bye because I was so impressed with the Cardinals that the Packers are my number 2 team right now in the NFL.
I couldn't drop the Packers in the bye, but the Cardinals were so awesome against the Bears that they also deserve to be the number 1 spot. Can I have joint number 1? No, I can't. I just think the fact that the Packers have a bit more experience, a bit more nous, probably puts them over the top. But that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals won the NFC, won the whole thing.
So you have the Cardinals at number 2?
Cardinals at 2, Packers at 1.
Okay, I'm going to say this. In the playoffs, if they play each other, I think the Packers would win. But how hot the freaking Cardinals are playing right now for the power ranking, saying, I think they're the hottest team in football and I can't take it from them. But I've had the Packers at number 1 how many weeks? And I hate to take it from them because of they're on a bye. But I was just so impressed with the Cardinals. I'm like, I just right now have to say, I think the Cardinals are on fire, but I can't argue with what you said at all.
Yeah.
These might have been some of the rougher power rankings, not with the team so much, but as in, where is everybody stacking up right now as of week 14?
Yeah, there's just so much movement and everybody's beating everybody, and it's stuff that we've said before. There's no ability to be able to pick winning teams just because one team that should walk somebody will shit themselves, or like one team that everybody thought was garbage will all of a sudden be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a surreal season. It's a real topsy-turvy season.
All right, guys. Well, we like to debate with you on why we're right or wrong. So let us know in the comments what you think. Cowboys fans, I'll be waiting. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.